Welcome to Sexuality and Truth with Phil Lees, the podcast where we uncover the realities of youth, sex, and the impact of cultural norms. Today, we're tackling a crucial topic, the meeting point, fertilization, and the spark of life. In a world where debates over when life begins are often driven by ideology rather than evidence, this episode brings clarity and truth. For parents, educators, and faith leaders, understanding fertilization is not just about biology. It's about recognizing the sacred origin of every human life. As cultural messages blur moral lines, we need to return to what is observable, unchangeable, and spiritually significant. At the very point where sperm meets egg, a new human story begins, complete, unique, and never to be repeated. This isn't theory, it's reality. And it calls us to honor life with the reverence and responsibility it deserves. Join us as we explore practical strategies, biblically aligned and grounded in evidence-based research, to empower families and communities to lead with wisdom, clarity, and conviction. Now, let's get into today's episode.
Here's something mind-blowing. In the time it takes to finish this sentence, over 300 sperm cells will have started their journey toward an egg somewhere in the world. But only 1 in a billion will complete the mission that creates a new human life.
That really puts the miracle of fertilization into perspective. And what's fascinating is how this microscopic event carries such profound implications for understanding who we are.
You know what's particularly striking? The mathematical improbability. We're talking about hundreds of millions of sperm cells, but only one makes it. The odds are so astronomical that some scientists have called it the ultimate game of chance.
Well, that's interesting because it's not really about chance at all, is it? The egg has this sophisticated selection process that we're only beginning to understand.
Exactly right. The egg actually releases specific chemical signals that help guide the right sperm. It's like a molecular dating service, making sure the genetic match is optimal. And once that match happens, things start moving incredibly fast.
Tell me more about what happens in those first crucial moments.
So, within seconds of that one sperm penetrating the egg's membrane, there's this amazing cascade of biochemical reactions. The egg surface literally transforms to prevent any other sperm from getting in. And get this, the genetic material from both parents starts unpacking and combining in this perfectly choreographed dance.
That's fascinating how nature has built in these safeguards. You know, I was reading that if multiple sperm were to fertilize the same egg, it would be catastrophic for development.
Right, and here's something even more mind-blowing. When those 46 chromosomes come together, 23 from each parent, they're creating something that has never existed before in human history and will never exist again. The possible genetic combinations are in the billions.
So if we're talking about unique genetic codes, does that mean everything about a person is determined at that moment?
Well, not everything, but a surprising amount is. Eye color, blood type, basic personality tendencies, potential height range, it's all there in that first cell. It's like having a complete architectural blueprint, but in molecular form.
You know what's really interesting about that? The way this biological precision challenges our understanding of human development. We're not talking about something gradually becoming human. Everything is there from the start.
Exactly. And recent research has shown something fascinating about those early cells. They're totipotent, meaning they have the potential to become any type of cell in the body. It's only through carefully timed genetic signals that they begin to specialize.
The coordination involved is remarkable, like an intricate symphony where every note has to be played at exactly the right moment.
And speaking of timing, let me share something that blew my mind. By the time a woman knows she's pregnant, this new life has already gone through about 10 trillion precise molecular events. Each one had to happen in exactly the right sequence.
That level of complexity really challenges the idea that early human development is somehow simple or insignificant.
You know what else is fascinating? The way the sperm cell is specifically designed for its mission. It has to swim upstream against current, navigate through complex terrain, and undergo specific biochemical changes just to have a chance at reaching the egg?
Well, that explains why nature produces so many of them. The journey is incredibly challenging.
And here's something most people don't realize. The successful sperm isn't necessarily the fastest. It's often one that conserved energy during the journey and arrived in better condition to complete the fertilization process.
That's such an interesting parallel to life itself. It's not always about being the fastest, but about being the best prepared for the challenge.
Exactly. And you know what's particularly fascinating about this whole process? The way it's both universal and unique. The basic steps of fertilization are the same for everyone, but the outcome is always different.
Like nature found a way to create infinite variations on a single theme.
And that brings us to something profound about human identity. From that very first moment, we're all equal in our humanity, but unique in our individuality. It's written into our very beginning.
That's such a powerful message, especially in today's world, where people often struggle with questions of worth and identity.
And as we wrap up, here's something to think about. Every person listening right now began this way. Every human being who has ever lived started as a single cell with this incredible potential. It's a profound reminder of both our common humanity and our unique individuality.
That really brings it all together. The science tells us something profound about who we are and how we came to be.
That's it for today's episode of Sexuality and Truth with Phil Lees. We hope this conversation has helped you see fertilization not just as a biological process, but as a powerful moment of creation, where life begins with intention, identity, and divine design. Thanks for joining us in this journey to uncover the truth written into the very first moments of our existence. Don't forget to check the description of this episode for the link to our full podcast series at peaceontario.com/podcast, where you can listen to all episodes of The Silent Language of Life. And be sure to join us next time for episode 5, The Silent Argument, a compelling synthesis of everything we've covered so far, making the case that the body itself argues for the value and dignity of human life. If today's message encouraged or equipped you, please share it with other parents, educators, and faith leaders. Together, we can restore clarity and conviction in a world that desperately needs it. Until next time, stay grounded, stay curious, and keep listening to the silent language of life.